Hello, everyone. It is coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. Dara, what the hell are you wearing?
I am, like I said last week, I'm supporting the Germans in football, I stress. It's actually... See, I probably should have actually found out what year this is from. I think this is the Euro 92 kit, so it's a bit sort of themed with the Euros. But I've actually got a bit of a story behind the jersey. How it was bought. My uncle, shout out to him, not going to name him. I'm not going to drop that name. He was on holidays in Naples, kind of going along the coast. Stopped at like what are they called? Like a car boot sale sort of thing, whatever they're called. And he just found it just in like a little, like one of them. Bought it for like a $5 or something like that. Didn't fit him because he's a size small little man. So I graciously took it off his hands for free.
That's very nice of you. I'm wearing a 2018 England kit, and
World Cup.
Yeah, must be, and
Bit off team.
yeah, wrong. Damn it, I'll go change. And no interesting story. I bought it off eBay.
Oh well, that's still an adventure.
Cost me £4.50 with tags. It was brand new.
£4.50. That's what it cost you. That's really good.
You got to know how to scout eBay.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You got to find out. Here's a tip for everyone, which might depend. We don't get enough listeners for it to ruin my eBay, really. But
oh no.
If you've got time during the day, like if you work shifts like I do, generally you can do your eBaying in early afternoon and find the things that are ending at like 1, 2 in the afternoon. Everyone else is at work, so you can grab some real bargains.
Genius.
Yeah,
and what about the unemployed? Do they just not buy football jerseys?
They've probably got more important things to do.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Nathan, I hope you don't mind, but I thought I'd kick off this week's show with a bit of a kick-off quiz.
Okay. How themed about the Euros is it?
Not at all, actually, now that you mention it.
Standard. I was just double-checking that we weren't going to stay on topic.
Yeah.
I'd hate for this podcast to become so blasé.
No. No, I've got no international questions.
Right. What's your questions about former United right-back Joe Riley?
These are all questions from stuff that I've found out in the week.
Okay.
Okay. Question 1. Who did former Crystal Palace midfielder Johnny Williams claim were his 2 idols growing up in an interview with The Athletic? You've got 3 options. Your first option is Xavi Hernandez and Kieran Dyer. Your second option is Cesc Fabregas and Scott Sinclair. And your third option is Andres Iniesta and Wayne Routledge. He said this.
Johnny Williams is a Welsh boy, isn't he?
He's Welsh. Came through the Crystal Palace Youth Academy. Bit of a clue.
Run through those options again.
Xavi Hernandez and Kieran Dyer. Cesc Fabregas and Scott Sinclair. Andres Iniesta and Wayne Routledge.
Now, the one that immediately jumps out at me is Iniesta and Routledge.
What's the logic behind that?
Routledge spent a long time at Swansea.
So did Scott Sinclair.
Yeah, but Scott Sinclair.
Celtic and Manchester City legend, Scott Sinclair.
Yeah, Scott Sinclair. I don't even know where he is now. Somewhere in the Championship.
Probably.
I'm going to go for... God, has anyone ever put Xavi Hernandez and Kieran Dyer in the same bracket before?
I like how you've gone for that and not the Iniesta and Wayne Routledge.
I like Wayne Routledge. I think Wayne Routledge, he's not Iniesta level, but he's a good player.
I think Kieran Dyer won like a young PFA Young Player of the Year at some point. But then again, so did Jermaine Genius.
I'm going to go Iniesta and Routledge.
And you'd be correct. Wayne Routledge, of course, I think also came through the Youth Academy at Crystal Palace, which is why Johnny Williams idolised him. Do you know he was... Oh, what was the playoff game the last year? Brentford against Swansea, wasn't it? Wayne Routledge is still at Swansea, I believe. And he was... His previous playoff final was 17 years prior in 2004 between Crystal Palace and West Ham. He's been around for that long, still playing football.
He's a good player. I think he's got to be 34, 35 now.
He must be.
I don't know if he's signed a new deal at Swansea. I know they released loads of players the other day. Andre Ayew is out there for free at the moment. without a club.
Ooh, QPR 2011 will be sniffing around that. I'll move on to your second question.
Here we go.
This week, an interactive Zoom call took place between club supporters and a club official. Which executive said, in reference to goings on at the club, quote, "It has to be less about words, it has to be about action," end quote. Was it Josh Kroenke, son of Stan Kroenke, Barcelona, Joel Glazer at Manchester United, or John Henry at Liverpool?
That's a very Joel Glazer quote.
You're going to go for Joel?
I'm going to go for Joel.
And you'd be correct again.
At the he did a fans forum, which he promised he'd do ages ago. Didn't believe he would do it. I thought he would send someone else.
Yeah, I'm amazed you didn't.
To be fair to the man, for the first time since buying the club, he has actually proven he exists in a way that Ben Davies can only dream of.
Yes, it is apparently the first time he has addressed the United fans properly since 2005 upon the takeover. And your final question, this is, you're going to love where I got this from. I was watching the Liverpool 2000-2001 season review, the treble season. And in the Worthington Cup final, a certain player misses a penalty to give Liverpool the trophy. So your question is, before going bold, former Crystal Palace, Everton and Fulham striker Andy Johnson had what colour hair? Did he have ginger hair, brown hair or blonde hair?
Ginger hair.
You're incorrect. He had a full head of blonde hair, and it is one of the creepiest things. You know, you're just so used to what someone looks like bald, or like when Martin Skirtle and Ashley Young were shaven all those times, all those years, and then they just suddenly just show up with luscious locks.
Yeah, it turned out Ashley Young actually has a really good head of hair, which I think probably annoyed bald people everywhere.
Just laughing at them.
Do you know Inter Milan have apparently offered him another year?
Is he actually doing good at Inter Milan? Again, I can't confess to having watched much. Yeah, and he's won a league title.
He did win a league title, and he plays quite regularly. He plays mostly at wing back. They mostly play three at the back. So him, Matteo Darmian, Hakimi, who apparently might be going to Chelsea for like 80 million euros. Or PSG. And I can't remember the other kid's name. But they kind of rotate around. But now Conte's gone, so who knows if that's still happening.
One of my favourite stories in the week was obviously Conte was in advanced talks with Tottenham Hotspur. He managed to go into it wanting the Tottenham job, came out of it needing a sabbatical out of football. Tottenham will bring out the worst in individuals.
Apparently he said a quote where he was on about, he likes a challenge, and he likes like things like that. It's like, well, there you go, that's tick one for Spurs. But he basically just didn't believe in the club project.
God.
Which makes you think that Daniel Levy was like, yeah, we want you to rebuild the club. Here's 15 million euros.
Do I get the Harry Kane money? No. This is it. Take it or leave it.
Yeah. Because now Kane wants to go. Bale's heading back to Madrid. Yeah. I doubt he'll be back. We've just got Dele Alli and Serge Aurier.
You're just going to have to build the team around Heung-min Son. And I don't even know how Heung-min Son is still there. I don't know why he hasn't buggered off as well. Deserves so much better than a mid-table.
He's got 2 years left on his contract. I think he's 27. God. So he's still got time. But I'd love it if for some reason Sancho didn't happen, and then I'd love Heung-min Son at United.
Yeah, I've always really fancied Heung-min Son. He was like one of the players around the time of the Champions League final against Tottenham. That's those sort of like 18 months for the period. He was the one player I wanted to join up with the front three. I thought he just would have worked perfectly. I mean, he is a bit emotional and is prone to kicking out, but bit of snideness.
Do you know what is interesting about Heung-min Son is that he's not going to be at the Euros because South Korea, as it turns out, I learnt this week, aren't in Europe. So should we try and get on?
This is a joke or not? What?
Well, I just thought, should we try and talk about the Euros because we've got onto Liverpool winning the Champions League.
There we go. Yeah.
Song.
Jeez, I was thinking, what is he talking about? What is South Korea doing in the European Championships? Go on,
So,
I'll let you take the lead.
well, all right. I'm gonna get back on my segue.
Hmm.
And at time of recording, we are 2 days away from the kickoff of the Euros. Of course, everyone is super excited for Turkey v Italy,
Oh,
which
woohoo.
is which is opening the Euros.
Oh, joy.
And but are you looking at who do you think is going to win first off?
I think we sort of have a mutual understanding that we both think Portugal are going to win it. But again, going for an outside shout, I'm going to back the Germans because I think why not? They've got the manager bounce, they've got Nagelsmann coming in, but then at the same time, it
They
could.
don't have the manager bounce because he's not there.
Is it not?
Nagelsmann is going to Bayern.
Oh no, that's not what I meant. The other one, the
Hansi
Bayern
Flick.
manager, Flick. Jeez, that's the one.
He's not taking charge though. It's
Until
still-
after.
Yeah.
Okay, well then I've completely misread the situation. I've completely misread the room. What do you think though? Do you think England actually have a chance?
Absolutely. I think when you look at the squad, there's some ridiculous levels of talent in there. Like, and
Trent Alexander-Arnold, Jordan Henderson.
yep, only one of them is going out of those two. Guess which one is going? Is it the one that's not played since February, or the one that's got injured like 3 days ago?
To be fair, that could be either of them.
Yeah. So, but no, Trent's not going. Ben White's coming in. Obviously, he's not a right back, but good thing we had three more to replace.
Handy.
Trent.
That's very handy. Yeah.
But yeah, I think England definitely have a chance. Like we got an okay group on paper. I know Croatia will bring back some bad memories for people, but we should be winning that group pretty handedly.
Yeah, you got Scotland who were at their first Euros since I think it was '96 was the last Euros they qualified for, and obviously in that Euros he ended up knocking them out, didn't he? Gary Mack missed a penalty, Gaza scored that goal. Bring back the memories. Bring back the memories of '96.
Yeah, I think I was free. So
It was
time the tournament would have
-4
been on.
and a half.
I would have been sort of big into it then, watching Gaza. Phil Foden's got blonde hair just like Gaza did.
Yes, yeah, that's a sign. That means it's definitely coming home.
Like they did an interview with him and everyone said, "Oh, you kind of look like you've gone for the Gaza hair. You look a bit like young Eminem."
And he went, who?
No, he said, "Oh, I've had the same haircut forever, so it has nothing to do with this. I just fancy the change." It's like, fuck off, Phil, you liar.
Just go for it.
Just go, yeah. Just say, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to the Euros. I wanted hair like Gaza did.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Something different, unique. This could go down as one of the like Ronaldo at the 2002 World Cup, or like
Yeah.
Romania at the '98 World Cup when they all got bleached blonde hair. This could go down as one of the great haircuts of international football.
Got some great hair going on in the England team. You got Harry Kane with his Captain America swept-back locks.
There you
Foden's
go.
blonde. Grealish is just floppy. And, I can't think of what anyone else's hair looks like.
No.
We should have taken Chris Smalling. He's got long hair at the moment.
There you go. Ashley Young, growing it out.
Ashley Young won Syria and did not even get in close to being in the team.
Why that? Did he retire, or is he just not?
Don't know.
Actually,
No one even mentioned his name.
and the point I'm going to bring up. Where do you stand on people retiring from international football?
Nah, don't like it.
Because I always respected in a way that David Beckham always went, if my country ever needs me, I'll be there. I don't mind being called up. But the people like Paul Scholes and Jamie Vardy who jump off when they should stay on. They're good enough to play. They can definitely add something to the team.
Yeah, I don't know what happened with Paul Scholes. He obviously fell out with Sven and everyone. He was playing him on the left side of, basically on the left wing in a
Had to make
4-4-2.
way for two amazing midfielders.
Yeah, to try and jam Lampard and Gerrard in together, which obviously always went well. And never led to one of them bombing on and the other one also bombing on. So they just get killed on the counter.
And with no holding midfielder.
6 years.
It was genius. That you could have played a 4-3-3, but Sven went, no, I'm not English, but I have to stick to English traditions. 4-4-2.
I did not ever understand that. Why not just play like 4-5-1? Because obviously we wanted wide people because that's the strikers we had at the time to kind of whip the ball in. Because you still want to probably have Beckham out on the right, didn't you?
Just around that time.
Yeah, and then
4-4-6, yeah.
yeah, or play 4-3-3 as you said. I can't really think of anyone to play on the left at the moment for some reason.
Stuart Downing it would have been back then. That's the only thing. Because England, just for like a generation, could not produce left-footed footballers.
Yeah, well, there you go. I don't know why. I don't know why we had to put Scholes out, but I still don't think he should have retired. I don't like people retiring from international football.
Yeah, it's a bit.
I think it's silly.
Cowardly. Yeah, we'll go with silly. I'll leave the cowardly alone. Now, the only thing that's sort of in our way for a prediction for Portugal winning the Euros is that they're actually in a bit of a tough group. They've also got France and Der allerbesten Mannschaften, Germany, I should say. They've
got Bayern Munich, according to Dar.
Bayern Dortmund.
There's not a lot of Bayern players in there. The thing with the German squad is they don't have an out-and-out striker. Germany, in my lifetime, have created 2 strikers, Klose and Mario Gomez.
Yeah.
And I think that's about it.
Yeah.
So going in there with Kevin Volland, who's kind of a winger, sometimes plays through the middle for Monaco. Timo Werner, who I presume he's playing the mascot role. And then they've got Gnabry and Sané, who aren't strikers.
Yeah.
So defensively, it's not the best German side. They have gone back to getting Mats Hummels kind of there.
Must be about 30, 35.
Yeah, although I saw people were very excited because Germany smashed Latvia the other day.
Ooh,
7-1.
Dish.
They conceded a goal to Latvia.
Well done to them.
Really set them up well. So no one really fancies the Germans this time for whatever reason.
Except for me, apparently. Has nothing to do with me owning the jersey.
Well, you would just look at the Bayern squad and went, they're going to win this. Lewandowski up front.
Yeah. Lewandowski and Joshua Kimmich. They've got a great team.
Yeah, one of them's German. Can Dara tell you which one?
No. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting tournament. Obviously, my boys, Ireland, aren't there. Got knocked out to Slovakia in the qualification rounds. It was a great watch. Went all the way to penalties, lost on penalties. And we would have been in a handy group. Spain, Sweden, Poland, Slovakia. We always seem to get Sweden. In our groups.
No,
Spain.
Zlatan.
They've got Alexander Isaac up front.
Yeah, he's Zlatan, who came out of retirement and then promptly got quote unquote injured, and now isn't there. I think what really happened is he was like, oh well, I'll still be able to go abroad. I can just join the Swedish team and go to the Euros. And then lockdown got lifted. He was like, what? I can go on holiday? I'm injured, guys.
Whoops. Now, if I was to go for like a really outside prediction, obviously in 2004, Greece were the largest odds to win the tournament, and they ended up winning it. Tell me, how much money are you putting on North Macedonia to bring home the trophy?
Oh, all of it.
Oh yeah,
all the 50p's that I can find downstairs, specifically in a bowl.
You found 7 so far.
Yeah, so North Macedonia obviously got great players like come on tab, load, like Darko Velkovsky.
I swear all those players are called Darko.
Classy defender. He obviously plays for HNK Rijeka.
My second team.
Yeah. I'm honestly, I'm not going to put much chance on it, but you never know. They're in there with Netherlands back at the Euros after missing one and being terrible for about 4 years.
Well done to the boys. Obviously, no Virgil van Dijk.
No Virgil van Dijk. I'm not sure why anyone thought he was going to go. It's like, hey, Virgil, you've been injured for 10 months. Do you fancy coming to the Euros and not preparing for next season?
Yes, lad.
Yeah,
is how I imagine he would reply.
Yeah, they've still got a decent squad with obviously Memphis Depay and people like that, and Quincy Promes, who for some reason plays in Russia. I think I found out the other day.
Oh yes, he's still at Spartak.
Yeah.
Is it?
So random.
No, I think that's my FIFA knowledge coming out. But one boy who's not going, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, rubbing his palms in the background menacingly. Donny van de Beek.
Yeah, he's not
played
going.
a minute of football all season. He's injured.
He got injured. Yeah, he got injured last training with the Dutch side. He's had a
convenient
absolute nightmare of a season. But so poor guy. It's Ryan Babel going.
Catch a break? Surely not. Everybody just showed up at Fulham for those like 6 months. Like I forgot he even existed.
He's listed in the players' team. Is he actually going? No
Surely
way.
not. Nah.
He can't be.
I'm actually getting this is suspenseful. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to this.
I'm trying to find out now. Oh, Wikipedia will have the answer. 20.
Ryan Babel,
Oh,
of course.
I don't think he
Went
is.
from Ajax in 2007 to join Liverpool before leaving in 2011 for Hoffenheim.
Oh, guys, I don't think he is going.
Ah, that's what I was.
He's right there on the Google section for Netherlands squad. He was listed, but I don't think he is going.
I'd be very surprised if he was. I imagine he's somewhere at like Besiktas or Galatasaray, probably playing there.
I think it's a Galatasaray. But yeah, France. Let's talk about France for a second because something quite interesting happened the other day. Karim Benzema had a slight knock, so he missed the game that they played last night. I can't remember who they were playing now. So upsets Olivier Giroud. And after the match, despite France winning, Giroud complained that he wasn't getting the service that he needed. Bear in mind, the service he needed was coming from players like Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe is the one who took issue with it. Apparently requested to do press to answer these to the things Giroud was saying to the media about not getting the service, but the French team wouldn't let him talk to any of the journalists. So
right.
France very much. Which was it? Was it 2014 World Cup when France had a massive row?
2010 wasn't it? It was the Nicolas Anelka one. Yeah, it was. Who was the manager of that? Was it? Oh, what is his name?
Blanc, was it?
No, it wasn't. Grey hair. I can picture his face. He got them to the final. He won it with them in 2006, and then it just all fell apart in 2010. Didn't they go on strike or something?
Oh, so they played Bulgaria two nights ago at time of recording, and there you go. He complained that he wasn't getting the service.
Yeah.
So it could all be unraveling for everyone's favourites to win, France.
Especially when you look at the players they have, the squad that's going is probably one of the most in-depth squads in the history of international football. They just seem to have like 2 world-class players in every position. And then when you look at some of the players who didn't make the Euro team that are going to like the under-21s or whatever it is, I think Kanate and Upamecano are both going to the under-21 tournament. So they just got talent all over the place. Feels like it's never going to end. Kind of like the Spain from the like 2008 to 2012 sort of generation.
Does that mean in like 5 years' time there's going to be hardly any French players?
Probably, yeah. It's sort of how these things go.
Generally, yeah, it is. But it's just funny hearing Olivier Giroud just call out people like Mbappe, Pogba, Kante, Tolisso, Griezmann, said he's not getting the service. Shut up, mate. You're not going to play when Benzema's back.
Yeah. One thing I saw actually that I sort of remember from a few maybe 2 or 3 years ago, but he's actually like second on the all-time top scores list for France. He's only behind Thierry Henry, and he's only I think 4 or 5 goals off it.
Yeah, he's had a great career. He's one of those people who've kind of gone quite understated because he just spends a lot of time as backup to people because it feels like he's been 30 for about 10 years.
Yeah, and he always scores. Every game he plays, always scores.
Yeah, like Arsenal kind of just let him go because they decided to back Lacazette and Aubameyang.
Yeah, how's that working out for you lads?
Yeah, not great. And then Chelsea kind of bought him in, used him for a bit, and then have already been trying to find a replacement. They tried with Tammy Abraham last season. They're now trying with Timo Werner and Havertz and people like that. And then now he's actually just signed another year deal to stay at Chelsea, hasn't he?
I think he has. Imagine being a striker at Chelsea. That's one of the most, and you're fearful of the sack. Being a striker at Chelsea, Morata, Torres, Werner.
They just cannot replace Drogba.
Yes. Drogba and Costa are the only 2 that have stuck in the, 15, 16 years since they signed Drogba originally?
Yeah, and Costa didn't last mostly because of him. Not really the
That's true, yep.
Yeah, because they're on about trying to get they're obviously in the fight to get Haaland probably next summer when his release clause is activated. But I don't know if that'll play on Haaland's mind because obviously the money's going to be massive, but he might look back and be like, eh. But I guess it was the number 7 thing at United for so long. Like once Ronaldo left, with like 4 or 5 number 7s, all of which flopped until Cavani this season.
Yeah, there was some stat, wasn't there? They only had something like less than 10 Premier League goals between them up until Cavani, maybe?
Di Maria, Depay, Owen.
Antonio Valencia had it.
Antonio Valencia for a season or 2.
Di Maria, Owen, yeah.
Am I forgetting one? Alexis Sanchez.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, feels like a fever dream now. And who knew you just needed to give a world-class player the number 7 shirt and they'll do world-class things.
Ooh, you're saying Michael Owen wasn't world-class when you signed him?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think that's... is anyone? Apparently we only signed him because Benzema said no, according to Owen.
Yeah, my favourite thing about that is, do you remember at the time, obviously, he'd just been relegated at Newcastle and he was handing out CVs to like potential suitors, and I think the 3 options at the time were Stoke, Everton and Manchester United. And he went to Man United. I mean, it makes the most sense when you're offered the 3, but when you claim to be a Liverpool fan and love the club, you're desperate to go back to Liverpool. Bit strange. I think even if he'd went to Everton, it would have been maybe okay, but United it's be all and end all. But enough about Michael Owen. I don't know why.
Enough about Michael Owen. He did go to the Euros at some point, but
went to 04.
What we're actually doing as we get to kind of the halfway point in this podcast, we've been talking about this sweepstake for a few weeks now. The draw is in. Neither of us know who we've got. So in a moment now, we're going to play the audio from Rian from the Hallways Grat podcast. Doing the draw for us. So
you want to remind everyone of the consequences behind the draw, Nathan.
That's a good idea. So the draw is Rian has drawn us 3 countries each from the Euros. Whichever one person's country gets the furthest, doesn't matter which one of the 3 it is, but whoever gets the furthest or the closest to their country wins. The loser will then have to watch the worst match in their club's modern history and do a full analysis and breakdown of it for the podcast. You nervous, Dara?
I am very nervous because, again, I know exactly which match you're wanting me to watch back.
Because I've already found it on YouTube.
Yeah, I've got a couple in my head. The obvious one to go with is the MK Dons game, but I'm trying to properly think of one that will just be miserable.
For me, guys, in case you do want to go and watch it in full, it is available on Stoke City's YouTube channel.
The only trophy they've won over the last
history. Stevie G's last match in a Liverpool shirt. The demolition of Stoke. Not of Stoke, sorry, I just autopilot. The demolition by Stoke.
If you want to know how much of a diehard fan I was at the time, I was watching it on one of those like crappy like internet server things. When I got to 5-0 at half time, I'm not gonna lie, I gave up on the game completely. I don't care enough about this. They've already done Steven Gerrard's send off. All they're going to do today is maybe clap the crowd. Went outside, played football, finished 6-1, but Gerrard did score, so clinical to the very end. 186 and out.
Wow. Well, here we go, guys. I'm going to splice in Rian doing the draw for us, and we'll be back in a second to let you know what we think. See you in a second.
Hello, welcome, and bienvenue, and whatever hello is in North Macedonian. I am the man that you next got, Rian, from the Hallway Wrestling Podcast on Project Dits, and I'm here to help out my fellow Project Dits members over at Plus Added Time, because it's time. It is time after a year of not having it, 3 years without a major tournament. The Euros is here, Euro 2021. Fuck whoever says Euro 2020. But I'm here to handle some business for Dara and Nathan, because it's time for a sweepstake. We all love a sweepstake. You know, everything, putting your money or putting a bet on the line and getting a nice little sweepstake on for the tournament. So I'm here to do just that. I need to, according to Nathan, my orders from Mr. Nathan Greenaway have been to record myself drawing 3 countries out randomly for each of them. So Dara will get 3 countries and Nathan will get 3 countries. And whoever's country gets furthest wins, and the loser has to watch their club's worst match in modern history and do a full breakdown for the pod. So I am fully in Dara's corner because I do not want to hear Dara have to review God knows what match. And Nathan will probably have to review Man City 6, United 1, and that'd be hilarious. But I am here. Thank God I'm not in a video because I'm just awake and I look terrible. But I have a random wheel decider on my phone because, modern technology. I'm not picking them out of the hat like Serafin or Infantino would in the draw. I have my phone here. I'm going to spin a wheel. I'm going to go one by one, and we're going to see what teams you get. So good luck, lads. I know this is going to be spliced in the middle of a pod, so good luck. Let's go. First team for Nathan Greenaway will be... Nathan Greenaway has only gone and pulled the favourites with his first pick. France is Nathan's first pick. I am not joking. I will send screenshots to Nathan for proof, but Nathan has just gotten France. The first pick for Dara Gibbons. It's coming home. It's coming home. It's coming. Football's coming home. Nathan, I think you'd be happy with France, but Dara has just pulled England. The Irishman has just gone England in the sweepstake. Is an Irishman going to have to support England? We'll see where his allegiances lie. Dara gets England. Nathan gets France. It's time for round 2. Nathan, your second team. And Nathan gets Germany. This wheel is so... Wow. Nathan gets Germany. So Nathan has France and Germany. Now it's time for Dara's second pick. Germany aren't great at the moment, and they're in the same group as France, so maybe that might be a bad thing, but we'll see. And Dara gets Turkey. They are in Group A, I believe, with Wales and someone else. I'm not up to date with the groups, but I know a few of them. But I know Turkey are in the same group as Wales. Very, very good team. They got Burak Yilmaz up front, 35-year-old who led Lille to the league title, and they're a bit of a dark horse, so we'll see. So Dara gets England and Turkey. Nathan's third pick. Let's even continue that good run. And Nathan gets Denmark. Denmark, solid team. Don't know if obviously France and Germany are solid 2 picks. So Nathan has France, Germany, and Denmark. Now, let's see who Dara can add to England and Turkey, I believe. I'll spin this wheel a bit more. Right, we're spinning now. And Sweden is the final team. So Dara gets England, Turkey, and Sweden. So to remind you, the loser has to watch and review the team worst match in their team's history. Nathan being Man United, Dara being Liverpool. Nathan has France, the favourites, Germany, and Denmark. Dara has England, Turkey, and Sweden. Thank you very much, boys. I'll see you in a bit. Have a good one. Enjoy the Euros, everybody. And hopefully I'll be back on Plus at a time soon. Tune into the charity stream if this is out beforehand. We love to see it.
Well, do we...
So intense.
Some Oscar level acting right there. I guess do you want me to just send you? Should we just swap shirts? Just FedEx each other tops.
Very strange, very strange. Nathan, do you want to reveal who we got as our first picks?
Well, everyone already know, but
oh yeah.
I've got the alleged favourites, not Portugal, who are the actual favourites, but in my heart anyway. I've got France, Pogba Kante connection.
Not bad, not bad.
I really need Olivier Giroud to calm the fuck down now. But I think you've got the most interesting pick because your big hitter out of your 3 is England.
Sweden. Oh, England.
Oh, sorry.
What is that? Hail Britannia, Britannia all the way. It's coming home. It's coming. Football's coming home. Where's the badge? Pretend that's an England jersey. It's white as well.
Yeah.
I've got a Channer. I need to channel my inner Alf Ramsey, and Harry Maguire needs to come back from injury, needs to turn into prime Bobby Moore. Jordan Henderson, who will definitely be fit and firing Bobby Charlton. And Harry Kane will be Jeff Hurst. That's my prediction. I'm not gonna lie, not happy with my other two picks.
Yeah, I mean, I've just said some bad stuff about Germany, so I'm not massively into this. But I mean, looking at this Sweden squad, I was just checking.
You said some horrific stuff before we started recording as well, Nathan.
I just went onto the Sweden squad because I was like, surely he's not still there, but there he is, Sebastian Larsson.
He's still playing football.
36 years old.
Good lord, he was at Arsenal, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then he spent most of the time at Sunderland.
Yeah, he scored a bicycle kick against Liverpool opening day of 11-12 at Anfield.
Oh, yeah, so there we go. How do you...
Yeah.
Lastly, I got Denmark.
The champions, 1992. Didn't qualify for the tournament. Yugoslavia got kicked out. Denmark transferred in. I don't know how they didn't make it to the tournament because they had the Laudrup brothers and Peter Schmeichel. Wasn't a half bad team, but they went on to win it. Will that experience rub off on the current crop? Probably not.
I can't see it.
But we say it. I don't know what it has to do if it was that long ago, but things can change. 29 years in the making. Things
can change. They're going to channel that, and they're actually going to win it for me. Who are you got? Turkey.
I've got Ozan Kabak's army. If he's even going to the tournament, I couldn't tell you. No longer a Liverpool player. Refused to accept the 18 million pounds. But yeah, Turkey are a solid team.
Yeah. Technically, Kabak is now a second division player.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
I don't know where he's going to end up. I can see Arsenal buying him, actually.
I feel like if my FIFA 21 career modes are anything to go by, he'll end up at a decent club for about 40 million in 2026.
Yep, and that club will be Northampton Town.
Did they get massive investment? But speaking of random English teams, Nathan, did you tell me something about Norwich?
I did tell you something about Norwich. That's the sweepstake, guys. We're done with the Euros now.
Bring on the nonsense.
Yet. There's not a lot we could talk about. I guess all that's left, in case we need a tiebreaker, actually. In case we need a tiebreaker, let's do this live on a podcast. We haven't discussed this in any depth. Golden Ball. Ooh. Who's scoring the most goals? And how many, in case we both pick the same person?
I'm going to back my boy. I've got him. He's representing. He's Jeff Hurst. Scoring headers for fun. I'll go with Harry Kane, and I'll go for what you usually get in a tournament. I think it's like 4 or 5 usually. I'll go 6. I think he'll have a proper good tournament.
I'm gonna go Mbappe. It doesn't really matter how many I say because we can't draw now, but I guess double points if we get it right. I'm gonna go 7 Mbappe.
Ooh, that's
Mbappe 7.
That's bold. That is a very bold statement.
There we go.
Speaking of bold statements, speaking of bold statements, Nathan, I thought I'd bring back one of the most favourite parts of this show for me.
Do you want me to mention the Norwich thing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we just derailed it completely, like canary in a coal mine. It just died away.
I had a very good transition going, but that was an even nicer one.
Yeah, thank you. So Norwich have apologised to everyone because they had a sponsorship deal coming up for the season with Asian gambling firm BK8. Obviously, I think we all agree that you shouldn't really have gambling firms as your sponsors, but those be the rules.
Thing to say at least. Yep.
Yeah. What we say off camera is we actually both work for Paddy Power. We don't.
Wish.
And but they've cancelled it because BK8 use a lot of provocative stuff in their marketing material, and a load of Norwich fans found it. So they've cancelled that, and it just feels a bit weird that you're allowed to have a gambling firm as your sponsor, but you're not allowed to be lewd about it.
I mean, I know that I'm sure everyone has like a bit of a dodgy history. I know that what is it, the the Golden Sullivan and West Ham, they have a bit of an eventful past from what I'm aware of in their business dealings. But gambling, yeah, it's probably a bit overdue, because I know obviously most of the Premier League clubs, I think if you look at like a pie chart, it must be about 70% at least of the clubs have them at the minute, and I'm pretty sure it is because they're being outlawed in the coming seasons. I think it's maybe end of next season after that, something like that, where so everyone's going to cash in, thought they'd make a quick buck while they still can. But yeah,
I've decided to Google what this marketing material is.
go on.
It's literally just a load of like attractive women in low cut tops with BK8 logos on.
That's I shan't be having that. Whereas men in short shorts and tight, skin tight jerseys. Now that's all right.
I was expecting something way worse.
Yeah,
I was expecting it to be like just weird, but it's not. It's just attractive women in crop tops with BK8 written on them.
That doesn't sound too bad. There must be, surely that can't be it.
That's the weird thing, because I grew up in Essex, which is fairly near Norwich, and like you'd see worse things like that in Norwich.
Is it near Norwich?
Like ish.
Oh, because isn't Norwich like one of the clubs that are like furthest away from any other football team?
There's not a lot of like I don't think so.
I know that I think Ipswich is the nearest club to them, and even that's like quite a trek, and that's why they're rivals, just because they're the only two clubs in that general area. Is it East Anglia? I think it is.
Yeah.
Norwich.
Well, East Anglia is where Essex is.
Is it? I thought Essex was just outside London.
It is, but it is East Anglia.
Never mind. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm showing up my
Your British.
Come on, it's coming home, boys.
Oh yeah, you need England to win.
Come on, England.
How do you feel having to support England as a proud Irish boy in your top?
Yeah, I mean, if Ireland were in the competition, it'd be a bit different. But it's usually, I don't know. I'm not really. That doesn't affect me at all. I'm not one of them. I'm sort of. For me, I'd rather Liverpool do well than England do anything. And if Jordan Henderson, he's not even the captain, is he? But like, to be honest, I'd probably rather Portugal win it. I don't want England to win it, but I'm not against them doing well.
Would you rather, let's say, Portugal play England in the final?
Portugal.
You want Portugal to win?
Oh, definitely.
What if it comes down to it's 4-4 on pens? Upsets Luke Shaw, who skies it, but then Bruno is about to take the 5th pen for Portugal. Do you want Bruno to win Portugal the Euros?
Well, my next question would be, who takes the following penalty from both teams? No, I'd rather Portugal win it. Full stop.
Okay,
even if it meant Hendo missing the decisive.
Yeah, I was about to say,
penalty.
what if Hendo does a John Terry and slips on the run up, and that leads to Bruno taking the pen that will win Portugal the.
Oh yeah, I don't want Henderson having that sort of moment, but no, I don't want England winning it. It's kind of like Everton. I want Everton to be good, but not better than Liverpool, if that makes sense. I always want them to be competitive when it comes to the Merseyside derby.
Oh, 100%. Like you want to beat your rivals, but I'd rather United beat Man City when Man City are playing really well than just have Man City turn up and be crap.
That's what I mean.
I feel like you get more joy from that, because you're like, Kevin De Bruyne played really well today, but Luke Shaw scored the winner. So it's like, I don't know why I'm picking on Luke Shaw today.
Jose Mourinho here, showing in on the goal. But no, like with England, like if they play well and they get to like the quarters, I'm like, oh, well done. But then when they get knocked out to Iceland, I can laugh. That's the good thing about it. When they do well, I can take the praise for it. But when they lose, it's funny.
Did you see that? Speaking of Jose, did you see that Jose interview that you did? I presume you did. It was in the Sun. So.
Oh, of course.
There we go. But I saw just one quote from it that he counts Spurs taking Spurs to a cup final as half a trophy.
Oh, Jesus. He didn't even lose the final either. He didn't even make it to the final.
Does that mean Pochettino technically has one trophy at Spurs because he took them to 2 finals?
He's won half a Champions League.
And half a League Cup. Combined, he has a really rubbish-looking trophy. I wish Jose was. What's even worse is he did this interview in the Sun, and the interview was done by James Corden. That's a new low, right?
That's so many questions already.
I think the Sun are just really grasping at straws for content, so they're just throwing money at people because their sales are apparently so shit at the moment.
I could imagine.
Which is good, which is what we all want.
Yeah, burn.
Nothing to do with our sweepstake, but I guess Jose is Portuguese, so
I'm amazed he never. I'm actually, he must have been offered the Portugal job at some point, and the fact that he never took it when Ronaldo was like Ronaldo.
I don't know. Like, he seems like a guy who loves to be around football all the time. I obviously don't know anything about being an international manager, but it feels like for about 6
Don't be so
months...
bloody modest, Nathan. Come on, tell us.
I've played football manager.
That stint you had in Jordan, the country, I stress.
Based on a FIFA career mode, there's no work to it.
You do nothing. Then the 23rd of May comes along. You go, oh yeah, I'll just submit that squad. That looks fine. Those overalls are pretty good.
You just get a notification that says submit your squad. So you press X to submit squad, and then it tells you 3 people are injured. So then you just pick the players you like instead of the ones that are highest rated. Can
I just to throw another really pointless thing into this? You know, when you're doing like a World Cup or an international summer tournament, and that the players retire from international football on like the 30th of June. So you could go with like a few like aging players, and they retire halfway through the tournament. Happened to me before. I think it was like Joe Hart, Micah Richards. It's like FIFA 14 days. A lot of them retired, and then I couldn't play the next match. I didn't have enough players to eligibly play the match, so was not coming home on that occasion.
Speaking of Micah Richards, have you seen the series he's doing on Sky with Roy Keane?
Nope.
They are just driving around in a car, driving around Wembley, just talking about Euros memories.
Driving around Wembley?
They're just driving around in a car, around Wembley.
They gotta just walk it.
I don't know.
Right, it seems like a bit of a waste of petrol, if you ask me.
Yeah, they're just driving around talking about Van Basten's volley. And things like that. And it's amazing because they're such different people, but it's weird seeing Roy Keane look like he likes someone.
In the words of Paula Abdul, opposites attract. Very niche reference there. What was I going to say? One thing I've noticed about Micah Richards lately is I'm not sure if you've seen the Match of the Day. They've been doing a lot of like top 10 episodes. Yeah. And they've done one on like top 10 hard men in English football. And Micah Richards' like explanation for putting anyone everywhere was, I've seen the videos on this player and, they seem kind of hard. Knew absolutely nothing about half of the people on the list.
Who was he picking?
I'm trying to remember. I know Duncan Ferguson came out top all around because I think that goes without saying.
Yeah, that goes without saying.
I like
seeing this great short video of Duncan Ferguson and Yap Stam.
Oh God!
Getting in on it together. Like,
did the earth explode?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like it's two absolute bulls just going at it for ages.
When I think of like a strike partnership, I would not have wanted to come up against as a defender. It has to be Duncan Ferguson and Alan Shearer of like 98, 99 Newcastle.
Oh,
that's
when it was. It's Duncan Ferguson with his hair that he really should have given up on at this point. The Newcastle brown ale logo on that Newcastle top, the best Newcastle top.
And they've never come anywhere close to replicating a nice football jersey.
No, because they just said they had Wonga on the front of their top for a while.
Very popular.
Yeah, another good one. And what have they got in there now?
I think it's another Chinese betting company. At least it was 2 seasons ago, maybe.
Well, I hope they don't use women in their advertising.
Oh, heaven forbid. Women cannot be marketed according to the Premier League. I think I'll take that bombshell as going back to my bold statement quote a few minutes ago, when one of the fan favorite parts of this show used to be Gibbs Fibs. Nathan, do you remember? Probably not.
Yeah, I do remember.
It's where I read out 3 statements, one of which is true, the other 2 are not. It's 1 truth, 2 lies. Such classics in the past as I was suspended from football for 6 months.
Oh yeah, seeing Nick Powell at an airport.
Yeah.
and staring up and down Lee Dixon
in a toilet, and that's all. There's no more context going to be given to that. Okay, so you got 3 stories. I'll read out the titles. You tell me which one you want me to go into first. Number 1, I was at the unveiling of Samuel Umtiti at Barcelona.
He got an unveiling? That's the bit I don't believe.
Statement number 2. I was the last ever winner of my indoor football Player of the Year award. Am I good at football, or do I like to just chat ourselves on this weekly podcast?
Hung your jersey from the rafters like an NBA player and decided that this award was pointless from now on.
I won it, and then the community went, okay, look, if he's winning it, we need to get rid of this.
Yeah.
We cannot have this anymore. And statement number 3, got a little title for you. Gibbons got gibbed. I was sent off in a case of mistaken identity.
Who was the Arsenal players? It was Chamberlain.
Gibbs. That's why I went Gibbons got gibbed.
Oh, yeah.
Works.
It works. Now I understand it.
Which story do you want me to divulge into first?
Wow.
Straight off the bat, do you reckon you know the answer?
Wow, yeah. I don't know how you would know you were the last ever winner of that award unless you were just checking it up a year later.
In my old age, I went into the archives.
Yeah, the archives of wherever.
No, it's
island.
It's
so I guess tell us more detail. First, how did you know
about that one? Because at the end of the year, so indoor football, it's like futsal, I think it's called, or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was called indoor football. So we went to a place, and then at the end of the year, after everything had been decided, there was like a big like a dinner, I guess you have, and it was like an awards ceremony where there was 3 subcategories, so it wasn't just like all one league. There were 3 different leagues, and I won the like intermediate, the middle one. My team got to the final. I was voted player of the tournament, robbed of the final. And they sort of brought you up onto the stage, but they did end up abolishing it because it was the stereotypes. Again, they saw my face in the local paper and they went, Jesus.
I'm not buying this. I'm not buying this story.
It was scrapped the year after because sort of everyone came to an agreement, which I'm still not a fan of, that it's too competitive making it awards based. It should all be, friendly and in good spirits. Like, no, if I'm playing football, I want it to be competitive. I want the best from my team. And then from there on in, everyone just got awarded the same participation award. Got a little trophy for it though.
I'm not sure about that. I'm also, but the thing I really don't believe is that Samuel Umtiti had a Barcelona unveiling. I don't even know, where did he even come from?
Some French team.
Yeah,
it's my best.
So tell us, like, when you say unveiling, do you mean you were on a tour around the new camp and they were just taking pictures of Umtiti on the pitch? You went, that's an unveiling. Look at him. Look at that. Look, there's Samuel Umtiti, and everyone went, who?
Wasn't even Umtiti. I wasn't even in Barcelona. I was on holidays in Salou, which is just outside of Barcelona, as I'm sure you're aware. Went to Port Ventura theme park, big up. But no, we were on a day trip to...
Unveiled him on a roller coaster.
I went on a day trip to the new camp in Barcelona, and I'd never done I'd been to Salou before, I'd never done the stadium tour. And we went there, me and my granddad, shout out to him, I know he listens every week. We went there, and when we got to the stadium, they said the stadium tours were out of access because there was a player unveiling. And I was like, all right. They sort of walked off. Then we were queuing up for hours. They said we can only take in so many people that can come into the thing. There must have been like 1,000 people in the queue. I was thinking, not a chance of we getting in here. But we got in for free, which was very strange. Especially with Barcelona's financial irregularities. They're letting commoners like us in there for about an hour and a half before he finally came out, done a few keepy uppies and left after about 5 minutes. Waste of a day, really.
See, I think that's a lie, because I just don't believe Samuel Umtiti had an unveiling.
It's completely understandable. I know
they did it for Ousmane Dembele. I know they did it for Coutinho, and they've done it for obviously loads of people before. But Samuel I'm
not sure if this will sell you anymore, but I saw former La Masia Academy graduate Gerard, the Spanish midfielder who I don't know what happened to his career after that. Also saw him on the day.
How did you know you saw him? I wouldn't be able to pick him up a fucking lineup.
Because I'm not lying, he was wearing a shirt that just said Gerard on the front.
You sure it wasn't just a Scouser?
His first name was Stephen, now that I think about it. No, and they were singing like did you know that like Barcelona have like a song that the fans sing before a match? I never knew that. They started singing that. I was just sat there with my granddad, just not knowing what was going on.
Anyway, I think that's a lie.
Ooh.
Or what was the last one? I don't remember.
Gibbons got gibbed. I was sent
Mistaken
off
identity.
in case of mistaken identity.
What age group are we in?
This was, funny enough, do you remember the Gaelic ban I told you about a few weeks ago?
Oh, yeah.
It was just my second game back from that ban.
This career was a real roller coaster.
It was very eventful, considering it lasted one season. It was very noteworthy. We were being played off the park. It was one of those. Do you remember when PSG were just kicking lumps out of all the Man City players in that second leg? It was one of them. Couldn't get near the ball.
Football, I remember that. Mbappe and his stick, or whatever it is. I don't even know what sport it is.
That's a hurl. You're thinking, oh, that's hurling. Completely different sport. Get it right. So yeah, it got to the stage where we were just sort of like, a few shy digs in at them. Everyone's just clattering into each other. A bit of a handbag situation broke out. One of the pathetic ones where they're going, oh, let me have him. And then you got like three people holding him back, and he's not going to do anything. One of them. And one of them got the hand around the collar. That's a classic football, aggressive thing where you pull them like that. The other guy went down on the floor like he'd been shot. I came over, started pushing my teammate. I'm like, you can't be doing that. Go back over there. Referee came over, thought that I was the one who had grabbed your man around the collar and sent him down like a sack of spuds. Got sent off, and then I got bollocked by my Gaelic coach upon walking past him. He wasn't impressed. Just came back from a ban, and I've been suspended again. Can I say for the record, one of these stories is 100% true. The other two, no, nothing about them are true.
Yeah, the Samuel Umtiti one, I'm ruling that out. I don't think that's true. There's too many weird details in there. Seeing Spanish midfielder Gerard out of nowhere, knowing it was Spanish midfielder Gerard as well. So we're going to go for the award ceremony getting scrapped. It sounds so far-fetched, but plausible that parents would decide that giving awards out is too bad spirit.
But can we just come back to that? Even if it is true or false, I don't agree with that at all. No. Saying it's too competitive. That's what sport is.
Yeah, because at some point they're going to get to the under 17s or something, so under 18s, and that's what they do.
They haven't mentioned my age at this. This is under 10s. This is from 9 until about 12, I think.
So I'm going to go for the Gibbed one. I'm going to go for the Gibbs got Gibbed.
Well, Nathan, I can tell you that Gibbs got Gibbed is 100% false. Nothing like that ever happened. Now, with the indoor football thing, a brother of a friend of mine was the last ever person to win it before it was scrapped. Nothing to do with me. So I was actually at the unveiling of Samuel Umtiti in the summer of 2016. I don't have any photographic evidence, but you can look up Umtiti's unveiling. It wasn't like a massive unveiling. It wasn't like a Ronaldo at the Bernabeu. It was like a really small, compact sort of meeting. Again, there for about 2 hours in height of summer heat with very little sun cream on. 2 Irishmen wandering around Barcelona. Didn't think we'd be there for that long. Lasted 5 minutes, and then
I'm sorry, Samuel Umtiti. I just did not think they would have given you an unveiling at that point.
No. People usually don't believe that story, so I went for it.
Oh, well, as we look to ride off into the podcast sunset, the Euros kick off in 2 days' time. Dara, just remind us again, who have you got in the sweepstake?
I have got your boys, Nathan, England, Ozan Kabak's Turkey, and Jonas Olsson's Sweden, and Johan Elmander.
I have got Olivier Giroud's France.
That's
Joshua Kimmich's Germany.
Okay.
And Christian Eriksen's Denmark. If Christian Eriksen is going, I don't even know, but you would presume so.
He's at Inter Milan, isn't he?
Yeah. Might be injured though. I got no idea.
Well done, Christian.
Yeah, despite his best efforts, he's still at Inter Milan. He has to leave about 2 minutes after he arrived.
Finally wins a trophy.
But there you are. Well, thank you very much for listening, guys. You can find Plus Added Time at +_added on the Twitter. If you're listening to this on the Project Dits feed, we do have our own dedicated podcast feed as well. If you just want to follow us and not that damn wrestling nonsense.
Yeah, be a real one. Join the calls.
But you can also find Project Dits and all its other affiliate podcasts at Project DITS on the Twitter. Dara, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Gibbons_Dara, Gibbons_DARRAGH.
Well, thank you very much for listening, guys. We'll be back next week. Bye now.
Good luck.